Good evening, everyone. I am Ethel Rose T. Alcocer. My topic is all about Ralph Tyler curriculum. Is curriculum development. Curriculum development can be defined as the process of planning, implementing, and evaluating curriculum that ultimately results in a curriculum plan. So, this development curriculum models means more how to design a curriculum in accordance with the goals and mission of educational purposes. So, and with school across the nation working to align the curriculum with common core standards, tailors forward recommendations, and effective tools for educators to create national objectives with their students' needs. Ralph Tyler, 1902 to 1944, published more than 700 articles and 16 books. So, best known for the basic principles of curriculum and instruction with Ernstine and Hankins in 1998, so which is based on an 8-year study. So, Taylor possessed the problem with education is the educational programs lack unstickable defined purposes. So, Tyler examining the needs of society to the specific objectives towards the student's learning. Tyler presented the concept that curriculum should be dynamic, so it will effective action and progressive activity will happen in regards with learning students and learning experiences. So it also a program under constant evaluation and revision. So this is curriculum where evaluating the learner's needs. So since then basic principles of curriculum and instructional has been a standard reference for anyone working with curriculum development. So although not as strict, how to guide the books shows how educators can critically approach curriculum planning, studying progress, and retooling when needed. So it is the way to organize learnings in a new different way in order to improve and develop students in assessing needs. Sections focus on setting objectives, selecting learning experiences, and organizing instruction and evaluating progress. So this focus on determining the purpose after identify the learning experiences. So it is the time to organize and evaluating the learning experiences of learners towards the purpose. So we'll come away with a frame understanding of how to formulate educational objectives and how to analyze and adjust their plans so that students meet and adapt the learning objectives. So also Tyler also explains that curriculum planning is a continuous recycling process and instrument to education that needs to be fine-tuned precisely adjusted for the highest level of performance in order to make work as well as possible. For Taylor emphasis on thoughtful evaluation has kept basic principles of curriculum and instruction like planning, implementing, assessing, and evaluating curriculum. So it is relevant trusted opinion for 60 years. So diri kay no jud ni siya, known jud ni siya sa curriculum development in order to emphasize and develop the learning experiences especially to the especially to evaluate students' learning process. Tyler Model. Tyler Model, one of the best known model for curriculum development. So, also known for the special attention it gives to the planning phases. So, deductive. It proceeds from general to specific. So, examining the needs of society and specifying instruction objectives. So Taylor wrote down his ideas in a book, Basic Principles of Curriculum and Instruction, for his students to give them an idea about principles for to making curriculum. So Taylor model is that was of the first model, and it was highly appreciated and still highly sample model. Taylor model consists of four steps. So these are determine the school purposes or objectives. So in other words, what to do the students need to do in order to achieve objectives. So example, a school developing an English curriculum. So students may create an objective that students write an essay. So second, identifying educational experiences. So it is related to purpose. So developing learning experiences that help students to achieve might be a demonstration by the teacher of writing essay. So kanang teacher jud ang mo demonstrate kung unsa ang mga objectives nga kailangan nilang buhaton para ma develop ang objectives in the school purposes. So the third one, organizing the experiences. So this time the teacher should demonstrate first. So this point is the teacher needs to determine or organize order to experiences for the students. So lastly, step 4. So the step 4 is evaluate. So diri ma-evaluate ng purpose or objectives. So now the teacher assess the student's ability to write an essay. So for example, the teacher could have the students write an essay without an assistance. So it is evidence the students have achieved the objectives of the lesson to achieve. So however, Taylor model is still appreciated be the strongest model of curriculum development. So Taylor recommends that curriculum planners identify general objectives by gathering data from three sources. So these are students, the society, and the subject matter. So all the three sources have agreed on what objectives needs to be addressed. So Taylor models meet the defined objectives to emphasize the importance of identifying learning activity. So Taylor states that the important thing is from students. So discover and useful learnings in the future. So overall, Taylor model primarily rather than process of achieving the goals and objectives towards students. In Taylor's four fundamental question, so which should be answered in developing any curriculum and plan instruction. So these are what is education purpose should be school seek to attain. So for example, the studies of the learning objectives. So second, how can learning experiences be selected? So meaning of the term learning experiences and useful in attaining various types of objectives. So the third one is how can learning experiences be organized? For example, effective instruction organization, like how to be effective organize their elements and objectives of the lesson. So the last one is how can the effectives of learning experiences be evaluated? So this time it is the time to evaluate the objectives of learning process of the students learn from the activity or organize, and other one uses the evaluation procedures and the results of the learning experiences of the students. Strength of Taylor's model provide curriculum developer with a clear direction for the development process. So it has also has active participation towards learning objectives and has simple but easy to development of behavioral objectives. So that's strength of Taylor's model. The of Taylor model has disadvantages. So they also believe that the model needed to be more holistic and multidimensional. So the model reduces the complexity of the difficult task of curriculum planning and development by providing sequential step-by-step approach. So Taylor's model difficulty incorporating material that cannot easily be compartmentalized is a weakness of the objectives model. So difficult time-consuming construction of behavioral so objectives, especially student skills and knowledge. Curriculum Taylor's model development. In the oldest and widely used curriculum development of Taylor's model, ideas come from the administrators of education. And using administrative procedures, and administrators will form a task down consisting of education experts, which concepts and outlines the basic policies established, such as formulating goals, selecting materials, and selecting and evaluating learning strategies, and guidelines for the implementation of curriculum for teachers. So Taylor's model is also called top to down. The requires monitoring guidance need to be evaluated. So thank you for listening.